Hi guys, today is November 12th, 2020, and futures pointing to mixed open. Actually, S&P futures are pointing to a lower open, and Nasdaq futures pointing to a higher open, and Dow futures are pointing to a drop. So that's because there's a lot going on actually since Monday. Because on Monday, Pfizer and BioNTech, its partner, came out and said that they have a vaccine which is 90% effective, and people immediately started buying so-called value stocks and dumping tech and stay-at-home stocks. And Dow was like up 1,500 points pre-market, but Nasdaq lost that day 1.5%. But the next day, President-elect Biden's coronavirus advisor came out and said that the country could use 4 to 6 weeks lockdown. I think his name is Michael Osterholm. And that could help bring virus under control, and that immediately triggered a shift from value, so-called value plays, back to the tech plays, back to the stocks like Microsoft, Teladoc, Zoom, and DocuSign, and all the others, Netflix, all the stay-at-home stocks. So, and this shift looks like to be continued, and because we may have another lockdown on our hands. I don't want to happen, but looks like we may have to. I mean, it looks like the new Biden administration may do this. So let's jump to okay. Before we jump to S&P 500, actually, the weekly jobless claims came in lower than expected, so that's good news. But let's jump to SPY ETF for S&P 500, and SPY, it looks like to me that it may still go higher actually. But when I look at Dow Jones futures and DIA, which is the ETF for Dow Jones, you see there's a gap. There's a huge gap, and market don't like this the gaps that probably may be filled. So to me, Dow Jones may still go lower, but SPY and QQQ actually look pretty good to me. So they may still go higher. So it's a very mixed trade right now going on. Strangely, but that's what's happening, because there is a shift, like I said before, from value stocks, so-called value stocks, to tech, back to tech and stay-at-home stocks. Okay, so let's jump to corporate news. And before we do that, if you want to check out my trades on pretty much everyday basis, you can check out a link to my Patreon club in the description. Okay, let's start with Moderna. Moderna. So Moderna is higher pre-market, and they said that it had enough data from a late-stage trial of its COVID vaccine to begin interim analysis. Okay, so Moderna in general have the same vaccine as Pfizer and BioNTech has. So as Dr. Fauci said, that most likely if Pfizer had success with their vaccine, that Moderna will have the same success. So it looks to me that Moderna shares may go actually higher. So I would be a buyer of Moderna. Okay, BABA. Okay, BABA shares are a little bit higher, but it was hammered in the past couple of days because of the perceived notion that there will be increased regulation on the Chinese companies by Chinese government, and also Alibaba's affiliate Ants Group IPO was delayed. So those two things pressured Alibaba shares, but they just reported a record single day sales of about 75 billion, and looks like the shares are going higher, and I would be a buyer of BABA in this area. 265 area, I think, is a really good buy for Alibaba. Okay, Ulta Beauty. So Ulta Beauty shares actually jumped several days ago after a company has struck a deal to open skincare shops inside of hundreds of Target stores across the country. And these stores will be managed by Target employees trained by Ulta company. And actually, I mean, really good company, a very interesting development. And I would be interested in the shares of the Ulta if they were not that high. I mean, I would like it to come down a little bit to buy it. I think in the 230 area. would be my choice to buy Ulta, but I don't know if it will get there or not, but I would be watching Ulta very closely. Okay, Beyond Meat shares dropped recently, and it plunged like 70% after reporting unexpected loss as the pandemic weakened demand for its meat alternatives at restaurants and shops. Reported 28 cents loss versus 5 cents profit expected. What can you say? And not a good report from Beyond Meat, and shares since recovered a little bit, but still trading on under $130. I think close to $120. I would be interested in Beyond Meat. Okay, Lyft. Okay, so Lyft actually reported earnings lately, lost more than 280 million during the quarter, more than double the loss of it reported in the same quarter a year ago, but better than expected revenue, and said that working on a new food delivery service. So shares actually rose due to those news, but right now it's trading in the overbought territory, and I would be careful with Lyft in this area. Okay, so closer to $30, I think it's a great buy for Lyft, but here I would just trim a little bit. Okay, XPEV, EV. It's a Chinese company, XPeng, a Chinese electric vehicle company, and it started jumping 11% pre-market after reporting more than fourfold jump in revenue. Okay, so they reported a loss, but obviously a great increase in revenue and vehicle delivery numbers. And stock is jumping pre-market, but it had a big run, and it may still go. Actually, may still go higher because of the good report they had. And on this report, NEO shares were higher as well. But NEO had a tremendous run recently, and I don't know. It was the market cap like. Closer to like 57, 56 billion dollars, more than GM, and NEO only delivered like 25,000 vehicles. I'm not sure if I want to buy NEO at these prices. I mean, I understand the enthusiasm is very high, and I like NEO as a stock, and I like it as an investment before. But I don't know if I want to buy NEO at the $44 range. I mean, I would like it to come down a little bit before I establish a new position. Okay, ACB. Aurora Cannabis. Okay, so cannabis producer plans to raise 125 million through secondary stock offering. Each share will be priced at 750 per share, and a buyer of this offering will receive a warrant to purchase another share at $9 within 40 months. So shares of Aurora dropped on this news, but then recovered a little bit, and it's trading around $7.50. I would be very careful with Aurora. I mean, I understand the recent favorable development due to Biden administration going to the White House, and they were saying that they will favor the cannabis producers and everything else, but I don't know, too much regulations for me in this industry, and I would be very careful with cannabis producers here. Okay, the Vroom. So Vroom is the used car e-commerce site, and they reported post smaller than expected loss for its recent quarter, reporting better than expected revenue, but gave weaker guidance than expected, and for the current quarter, and shares are dropping pre-market, and I mean, if it goes like in low 30s, I would be a buyer for Vroom. VRM. FOSL. Oops. FOSL. FOSL. Well, that was FOSL provided a surprise. The shares were surging almost 25% pre-market after swinging to the third quarter profit, thanks to e-commerce and lower cost. I mean, jumping in e-commerce and lower cost for the company. And FOSL, I thought this company was dead pretty much, and all of a sudden it's actually doing very well. Surprise profit, and I think like even at $7, I think it's could be a compelling buy to me. FOSL, PDD, Pinduo. Okay, so Pinduoduo shares are jumping. It's a China-based e-commerce company, reported unexpected profit as well as better revenue due to economic rebound in China. What can you say? I mean, it's really good report from Pinduoduo, and shares are jumping pre-market. But if you want to establish a new position, I would like to open higher and let it come down a little bit closer to like 135, at least maybe lower 130s, and then if you want to establish a new position in this company, then I would buy it, but not at the open. BDD. Okay, also Hyliion reported. So Hyliion is an electric vehicle company, and they reported wider than expected loss and didn't record any revenue. But I don't know what people expected from this company. I mean, obviously shares dropped like 10% after the report because the hot money is coming out. I don't know what people expected from this report, because this is the first report, and obviously they were not expected to report any revenue. And the key to this whole thing will be the conference call that will happen, I believe, or is happening at 8:30 in the morning. And depending on what they say, what developments they will have, the shares will react. But in general, it's not a bad buy, like in low 20s for Hyliion. Okay, and the last company I'll give you is Tapestry. It's one of my favorite companies. Company behind Coach and Kate Spade was upgraded to outperform from market perform at Cohen, which points to favorable pricing and profit margin mix. And in general, one of my favorite companies in general, and especially in this environment, even though it looks like it's overbought, but it's been overbought for a long time. So I think the shares will continue to go higher, and I think it's still a buy at $25. Okay, that's it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the like button, and I'll see you Monday.